we welcome you to the post-fight press conference here at Bellator Fighting Championships 39. For those in attendance, we hope you enjoyed the evening. Great fights inside the cage. Again, right to opening comments from Chairman and CEO of Bellator Fighting Championships, Mr. Bjorn Rebney.
Thanks, Mike. Key importance, obviously, from my perspective, is Toby Amata, but I just wanted to clear the air real quick. Toby is doing fine. The doctor here said that he was taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons. He's already on his way back from the hospital, was arguing with the folks when he was asked to be taken to the hospital not to go. So an unusual circumstance for Toby Amata because he hasn't been knocked out before, got knocked out cold, and but is doing good and should be back here. Was actually trying to make it back here for this press conference, so which is great news. Always a little bit disconcerting to see somebody taken off in any sport on a stretcher, and he's doing real well, so which is spectacular news. On to the next point. Thank our friends here at Mohegan Sun. This is a spectacular venue, an unbelievable venue for mixed martial arts. These guys do an amazing job. They make our lives easier, and we're doing this week in and week out. So come to a place like this with real professionals that understand the game, and a spectacular commission headed up by Mike Mazzulli is great for us as a company. We're hoping to be back here a lot in the East Coast in the coming months. And then to our partners at MTV2, who broadcast this show to 80 million homes, who do an amazing job, and as I've said many times, have been promoting us across Spike Network and MTV and MTV2 and MTV3 and MTVU, and the list goes on and on. But tremendous partners of ours who've done a great job and helped us put on another terrific show tonight. Gentleman far down to my left, Ben Saunders. I've said this before when we started talking about Ben and this fight coming up. There are some releases in organizations that make an enormous amount of sense, and then there are some that just leave you kind of scratching your head. Other people's loss was our tremendous gain.
You know, I just took it with a grain of salt. It was a very depressing time getting cut, and you know, I just took it as it was, and you know, I just keep training harder and working on my weaknesses, man. Apparently, takedown defense and wrestling was not a top priority for me. It's not really how I like to fight. You know, I like to keep it standing and bang, and you know, the guys I fought that were able to, you know, take me down and nullify my guard are some of the top guys in the world. So I give them all props and all the credit in the world, and you know, I just keep working hard and getting better every single day.
I'd like to thank the president of Bellator, Mr. Bjorn, and as I said in the post-fight interview, 1 year ago I was coming back from a knee injury, and I thought that I would probably stop fighting because there wasn't any opportunities, and fighting was just tough. You don't get paid much, and sometimes you don't even have the right to fight because people don't want to book you for another state and stuff like that. So 1 year ago I heard about this opportunity to fight in Bellator, and I finally got happy because I thought the rest of my life would be seeing my brother fight. So here I am today after a very severe knee injury, and I have the opportunity to be the champion I always dreamed I could be. So I have to thank you very much.
When we kicked off our tournament, I think a lot of people thought that 170 was probably the most stacked division we had. 170 had Lyman Good in it, and it had Jay Haran in it, and it had Rick Hahn in it, and Chris Lozano in it, and the list went on and on. Lyman's game has elevated since his loss against Ben Askren. He came in at the top of his game. I thought Lozano versus Lyman Good in our first round of our tournament could conceptually have been a final in this tournament because Lozano had looked spectacular coming into that fight, and this gentleman dominated. And Rick's game plan, strategy, execution in this fight was just top tier. Congratulations to Rick. Congratulations to Mark in terms of getting him ready for this fight. A spectacular performance against a world-class welterweight who's fought for this organization, held its world title, and will no doubt be back with us in short order. But Rick Hahn, great performance, buddy.
Lyman is a very tough guy. Obviously, you know, he's had the belt. He's won the tournament. Strong dude. Definitely my toughest fight in my career so far. It was a close one. I kind of thought I might have lost the fight going into after the third round. But you know, he's a tough dude. I didn't fight the way I wanted to originally, but you know, it worked out. I got the win, and I'm happy to be moving forward in the tournament and getting in the finals. But like I said, my hats off to Lyman and his camp. You know, it's a good job, guys. I appreciate the hard fight. And Bjorn, thank you.
First of all, just wanted to kind of point out why is there like a little segregation. You got the losers corner over there, all the winners over there on one side. Could have scattered it. You know, hats off to Rick Hahn. You know, he went into this tournament regardless of the outcome of the fight. You know, in essence, we're all you know, champions. We're fighters. We're professionals. So in the sport, you know, regardless of whatever outcome may happen, we just have to say to ourselves, you know, that both fighters go into a fight training their hearts and training their minds to just go out there and just, you know, do their best. You know, I'm gonna be the first to say that I would never use anything as an excuse. Prior to the fight, there were a few discrepancies. You know, I was really sick, and this is actually something I've been trying to, you know, keep away from prior years. There was like a 2-week layoff coming into the fight. I went in thinking it wasn't really gonna affect me. You know, I think 90% of a fight is always mental. You know, so I went out there. It didn't really feel like it was my fight. You know, regardless of what people think or say, whether they think it would, you know, the decision weighed on my side, or if they, you know, if they felt weighed on his. You know, in the end, he came out victorious. He was a winner. So hats off to him. There is a part of me though that feels like there was, you know, a big disagreement on the judging. You know, I thought the 30-27 call was a little far off with that, but like I said, none of that's an excuse. I take all the matters as far as what happens in a fight in my hands. You know, it is true what they say, and as fighters and in this tournament, we control our fate and our destiny. And I just want to say that, you know, I'm always thankful to come out and have this opportunity to just do my best and just try my hardest. You know, so big congratulations to Rick Hahn. All I want to say is, if he makes it to the final, ask for me, please.
A lot of people had projected and predicted that the title fight at 155 pounds would end and would end early. Everybody had an opinion about it, and when people would ask me about it, I would consistently come back on that opinion, and I would say, look, if Ricci had been the only win and it was just one far-flung overhand right, then conceptually you could say, hey, he's a Cinderella man. But then to come in and beat Roger Huerta, and then to come in and beat Toby Amata, I knew we had a fight on our hands at 155 pounds. I've said many times, and I believe it as strongly right now as I did 2 hours ago. We have the best lightweight in the world fighting in this organization in Eddie Alvarez, but Pat Curran, and with what Jeff Curran has done with Pat Curran, the development of this fighter sitting to my right, he has got an incredible future in front of him in this game. To stand in the pocket against the most dangerous striker at 155 pounds in our game says an awful lot about this gentleman. So a big congratulations to Pat Curran in a loss, and a tremendous congratulations to Eddie Alvarez in the first defense of his title. So,
thank you guys. I'm a little bit disappointed, but still happy with. I'm happy that I was able to go 5-minute rounds. That Pat was the first opponent I was able to share that with. I never went 5-minute rounds, and it was something I was looking forward to in my career as a champion, to be able to go the 5-5s. So thank you for that, Pat. We'll always share that together. And I always pride myself on finishing. I have about a 90% finishing rate, and you know, sometimes things just don't go the way you plan them to. I tried to be patient, knowing I had 5-minute rounds ahead of me, and maybe I was a little too patient, and maybe he had just a little too hard of a head. He stuck in there, he was resilient, and he had more heart than I could ever dream of having at 23 years old. So my hat's off to Pat. It's only your opponent that makes the fight. You and your opponent make the fight. So I'm glad I was able to go out there and cheer that with him tonight. So more congratulations to him than me. It was a great fight tonight.
It's an honor to get to fight, you know, a world-class fighter like Eddie, and you know, he just has more experience than me. So all I can do is go back to the gym, work on the mistakes, and come back stronger the next time. So I'm only gonna get better. I got a long future ahead of me, and I just want to say thanks again for a great fight.
Hey, Matt Lee is the real Korean zombie, man. That dude has a granite chin and without a doubt the most heart, and is the toughest fighter I've ever competed against. To see his disappointment when they try to, stop it in the second round, and when they actually did stop it in the third, nothing I could say or do would take away the disappointment. But that guy's a true warrior, and like Eddie said, with his fight, man, the war that we had, or the fight that we had, is an experience that we both will take away and never forget.
Well, in regards to like short turnaround, I'm kind of used to that with my background in judo. Obviously, it's a different game. You don't take the same beating in a judo tournament as you do in an MMA fight. And every fighter is different. We all cut different amount of weight. The short turnaround, it just also depends on how beat up you are from your first fight. I mean, my last fight I had to take about a week off because my leg was the size of a grapefruit. My knee was. So obviously that knowing you're fighting 4 weeks later, it's kind of scary. And luckily for this fight, I feel a lot better. I'm not as banged up. At least I don't feel it today. Maybe tomorrow I will, but every fighter's different. Everyone cuts different amount of weight, so they all react different ways and go about it, in their own ways.
I was looking to do it all. I knew he liked boxing, so I was ready to do that too. Fortunately, I got a little anxious, and I'm the one who kind of left myself open. But I was expecting ground game. Also, I knew that he would probably want to try and prove something by taking me down and submitting me. But I was ready for it. Like I said earlier, I was really expecting a lot more of a fight out of this. But it's one of those things like you see everywhere, all over. It's like God. So, but yeah, like I said, I mean it. I'm just ready for whatever they got next, and just give me something.
In the past, if anybody watches my fights, I tend to get knocked out almost every other fight. I bounce back up, and I kind of want to get away from that. My trainers and coaches are disappointed in me about that, and that only happens when I go in straight ahead, when I hurt someone, and I go straight at them to finish. Got to be super careful with someone like Pat. When you hurt him, he has a monster overhand right, and that could end the night, as you've seen with Ricky. So it was very important for me to not stay in the pocket too long, just get in and get out. I felt like that was Pat's only chance of being able to beat me tonight, was him landing that overhand and catching me. And it was very possible because it happened in the past. So wanted to make it a point to get in there and get out of there and not spend too much time there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish because of that, but I was able to do a lot of damage when I was in there, and he was just a little bit too resilient to get the finish.
Hey Gary, the Plant Team Takeover. Yeah, so Eddie, this is a question for you. Recently, MiddleEasy.com posted a list of the best fades in MMA, with you taking the #1 spot on that list. And ever since this list has came out, you have gone undefeated. Do you attribute any of your success to this list being published?
Say yes.
We'll give you the choice.
Yeah, I guess so. You guys are gonna make my barber the most popular barber in Philadelphia, but no, I don't know. I can't answer this question. I'm gonna roll the barrel.
To you again from at Sprawl and Brawl. It's a question about Saturday nights and women's fights. Will we see them again coming on Saturday nights at Bellator?
Yeah, absolutely. In terms of when or at what weight class, whether it'll be 15 again or 25, I don't know. Something we got to work through and talk about. But I think Zuffa's position relative to women's fighting, and now with the acquisition of Strikeforce by Zuffa, I think it puts the women's game in a tough spot. But we've welcomed it. We did an amazing tournament with 8 women, all of whom were ranked in the top 10 of the world. We are thinking about and researching doing it again. So yeah, without question. It's close to 1 o'clock in the morning, but congratulations, Ben, Patricky, Rick, Eddie. Great work tonight. Another big thank you to the Mohegan Sun. This is a spectacular location. Can't wait to be back here. To our partners at MTV2, thank you guys. And we'll see everybody next week, same time, same channel.
And as we do in all our post-fight press conferences, if you please put your hands together for all the fighters on MTV2 at Bellator 39. A reminder, Bellator 40 comes to you live next Saturday night on MTV2 from Newkirk, Oklahoma, First Council Casino.